I'm Rashi Batts, and this is Fox 26 Crime Files. A Houston woman says a recent night out turned into a nightmare in the Galleria area. That's because she says someone was tracking her every move using Apple AirPods. Here's Fox 26's Tiffany Justice.
So at this point, I start freaking out because I'm like, wait, somebody's following me. And not only are they following me, it's not like they're just checking the location. They're actively watching every single turn I make. And why should you even be able to do that?
Raven Lemon speaking with Fox 26 after going through a terrifying experience recently, saying she was being tracked through an Apple AirPod. She says it was just a normal day grabbing dinner with a friend in the Galleria.
We went outside and something just started telling me, like, don't go home.
With that sinking feeling something was wrong, Raven said her and her friend decided to go to a nearby park.
But at this point, I'm getting notifications, but I didn't know what the notifications were. It was showing like just a general notification at first. So I wasn't paying attention to it. We continue going to the park. We're at the park for about almost an hour. So at this point, I just started getting notifications back to back to back to back to back. And I open my phone and it's telling me that somebody's been watching my location for 17 minutes.
Being watched, possibly followed for 17 minutes. This is the screenshot she took after receiving that notification. Raven says it was pinpointing her exact location.
At the point that I started processing what's going on, I have a background as a firearms instructor, someone who's very passionate about like self-defense, safety, and just being aware of things, but nothing prepares you for this. I almost freaked out. I reverted back to my training, so I'm like, okay, think of a plan. What do I need to do?
Raven says she also spoke with an employee at Apple who told her it's been happening quite a bit, which took her by surprise, telling her the most common places where they're being placed on cars.
All of the places I didn't look is where he told me it could have been. Inside the gas cap, inside the tire, the back of the tire, any type of crease, any space where there's like this much space, they can either tape it in there, they can tie it in there.
And that was Tiffany Justice reporting a triple murder, a mother demanding justice. Fox 26's Dominic Heath has that story.
They left my son in the concrete, dying by the cell. This is killing me.
Her heart is left broken after Lisa Maravilla Aguilar's son, German Maravilla Aguilar, was shot to death in the parking lot outside Heart nightclub on Washington Avenue on August 14th.
I just need justice because this guy is anxious to kill people.
Houston police investigators say Aguilar's son was shot by his ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. The gunfire also left a bouncer shot in the arm and another man who accidentally shot himself in the leg. Detectives say the ex-girlfriend then left with the shooter in a white Jeep Grand Cherokee.
I just need these two criminals to be in jail. That's what I need, because they killed my son.
Another unthinkable crime over on Washington Avenue. A Houston man severely beaten in Houston's Rice Military neighborhood. His wife shared his story exclusively with Fox 26's Natalie He.
I have a husband and my daughter has a father because of you, so, you know, thank you.
It's been an emotional few days for Lindsay as she tries to understand who and why a group of guys would brutally attack her husband unprovoked. She's asked us only to use her first name for safety reasons.
Stitches here and here.
Houston police say it happened around 2:15 a.m. Friday on the 5300 block of Washington Avenue as her husband was leaving a bar to head home. That's when Lindsay says 4 white men in their 20s approached him.
Walked outside. They're waiting for this Uber, looking at their phones, and out of nowhere, my husband gets hit from back here. He then gets hit in the face. You can see his teeth through the hole in his chin. When I realized they only attacked his head. They only went after his skull. I mean, you're looking for optimal damage.
Lindsay says her husband and their friend didn't recognize any of the 4 guys from earlier in the night, nor did any of the perpetrators try to steal his belongings. It wasn't until a private driver who'd been waiting to pick someone up intervened and saved her husband's life. Lindsay's now begging the public to help.
They jumped into a orange vehicle, either a SUV or a truck, some kind of larger vehicle, and took off. But that's all we know. We just need surveillance. We need something that shows what happened, where they came from. There's got to be something that shows the attack. Maybe it shows their faces. Maybe it shows the license plate of the car they got into.
Well, we did ask one of the bars here on Washington Avenue for any surveillance video. One of their attorneys tells me that their cameras didn't capture anything, but the Houston Police Department is asking for your help. If you know anything about this case, you are urged to contact the Major Assaults Department. From Washington Avenue, Natalie Heath, Fox 26 News.
A former NFL player has been officially charged with the murder of his girlfriend. Investigators say Kevin Ware Jr. killed Taylor Pomaski. Her remains were found in the Spring area last December after she'd been reported missing for nearly 8 months. Ware is expected to be in court in mid-September. And only on Fox, bold thieves targeting and stealing cars in Houston. So far this year, as many as 1,500 vehicles have been stolen in Houston every month. Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf has the top 5 vehicles these crooks are taking and why.
Shameless thieves targeting the same pickup truck, driving away with it twice in just 4 months.
We thought we got lucky, we got it back. We were like happy about it, but then it happened again.
Jacqueline Garcia now looking for her husband's stolen 2003 Chevy Silverado for a second time.
Like two minutes and they took it.
Thieves taking the truck from outside their apartment in Spring Branch.
There's just a lot of people stealing cars nowadays, I guess.
There's a Tahoe, which is a Chevy truck.
At the Houston Police Department impound lot, they're seeing a new trend.
There's GMC Sierra right there.
GMC and Chevy trucks taken here after being found stolen.
They're literally stealing it and selling it within hours.
We uncovered the top 5 most stolen vehicles so far this year in Houston. Number 1 by far, the Chevy Silverado, followed by GMC, Ford, and Dodge trucks. But if you combine the makers, it's even more unbelievable.
It's stolen.
GM trucks account for more than half of the top 5 most stolen cars in the city. How quickly can thieves steal one of these cars?
If they're taking longer than 2 minutes, then they're just not a professional.
Late last year, Chevy and GMC fixed the problem, making their trucks harder to steal.
My husband's looking to buy another truck, but he's wondering if to get the same kind.
The other new stolens are the fast version of the Grand Cherokee.
But now a warning from police for everyone else.
Go drop the $400, for upgraded alarms, kill switches, tracking devices.
Well, dozens of wedding gowns were stolen from a local designer after police say the burglars broke in with a sledgehammer. The designer believes the thieves got away with more than $50,000 worth of dresses. Fox 26's Natalie He has this story from Tanglewood.
Well, the owner tells me they had just moved to this location 3 months ago. The perpetrators were not caught on any surveillance cameras. You can see the windows here now boarded up. In the meantime, the business says they will be beefing up security.
They're installing cameras, and we're going to put a protective film on all the glass so that if somebody does try to break in, it won't shatter and people won't be able to get in. So we're doing what we can to prevent it for the future.
With the windows boarded up, David Peck is back in business. Around 1 a.m. Friday, police say burglars broke into the boutique on Fountain View in San Felipe with a sledgehammer and stole more than 20 sample wedding gowns, totaling more than $50,000. Most of David Peck's gowns are custom, handmade with imported fabrics from Europe. Each dress can take up to several weeks to create and retails anywhere from $2,500 to upwards of $10,000.
Over $50,000 worth of wedding gowns, and then a whole range of pajamas that we had just gotten into the store. So they were on opposite sides of the store, so they obviously knew that they wanted those things and went directly for them. They left jewelry untouched. Everything else was completely left unvandalized.
David tells me he's spending nearly $10,000 on repairs and increased security measures. HPD says the suspects were possibly driving a black Toyota Tundra truck. So if you know anything about this case, you are urged to contact HPD. From Tanglewood, Natalie He, Fox 26 News.
Learned a suspected drunk driver who allegedly killed a 14-year-old in Galveston was let out of jail after serving less than a year of a 3-year sentence for a DWI. As Fox 26's Randy Wallace reports, people on the island are calling his release a massive failure of the legal system.
28-year-old Keith Brazier had only been a free man from prison for just a few hours when police say he killed 14-year-old Mason Nelson while driving drunk.
We have a 14-year-old that died because this guy was let out of prison. He only served 1 year.
Not even a whole year.
Out of the 3-year term, which in my opinion, 3 years wasn't enough.
he should have stayed there because that little boy would be alive right now.
If Keith Brazier had spent one more day in prison, police say 14-year-old Mason Nelson would be here instead of a memorial. Seth Dillo planted sod at the intersection of Avenue O and 41st. That's where the fatal crash happened.
It didn't matter what was going on in your life. Mason was the one kid who could always make you smile.
Police say Brazier was speeding and driving drunk when he ran a red light, striking a Jeep Nelson was riding in. 2 passengers in the Jeep are in critical condition. 2 others are stable. 2 people in Brazier's vehicle are also in stable condition. Brazier has 3 DWI convictions, 2016, 2018, and 2021. He served less than a year of his 3-year sentence. He's now charged with felony murder. Mason Nelson was a freshman at Ball High School. Counselors are expected to be on campus when students return Tuesday. Reporting from Galveston, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
This is just plain disturbing. A Southwest Airlines pilot went into full dad mode and threatened to turn a plane around after someone sent nude pictures to other passengers using AirDrop. Fox 26's Tiffany Justice spoke with the woman who shot the now viral video.
When we opened it, it's just full view. It was so it wasn't just the member. It was like everything from down below, like
there were
legs,
like objects,
leg in the air.
It was a wild photo.
It was really inappropriate.
Taylor Marsalis and Dallas Cannon speaking with Fox 26 after a video they posted on TikTok went viral, garnering more than 2.6 million views since being posted. The ladies were traveling with a group of friends on their way to Cabo San Lucas for a fun trip.
We sat down and we didn't even get buckled in or anything like that. And then everyone got an AirDrop. I didn't accept it. And
I did.
And the girls in front of us did too. And everyone was kind of gasping.
The cyber flash shocking and angering some.
The lady that got upset told the flight attendant and she let the pilot know. And then he got on the loudspeaker.
So here's the deal. This continues while we're on the ground. I'm going to have to pull back to the gate. Everybody's going to have to get off. We're going to have to get security involved. And it's vacation that's going to be ruined. So you folks, whatever that AirDrop thing is, quit sending naked pictures. Let's get yourself to Cabo.
But after the pilot came on, they stopped. Because they obviously saw it was serious, so they stopped.
The women applauding how the pilot handled the situation. Some commenters on the post saying he was giving off major dad vibes.
The pilot did nothing wrong. Southwest did nothing wrong. It was just this random guy that just thought he took a really great nude and he just wanted to show it.
There was pride.
Yeah.
There was pride in that picture.
Yeah. He loved it.
He was very,
yeah.
Man, I nailed it here.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have anything to be ashamed about.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Wow.
I mean, besides it being wildly inappropriate.
Reporting Tiffany Justice, Fox 26 News.
And that wraps up this week's Fox 26 Crime Files.